look at a dachshund, right? You see this comical, incredibly long body and, well, impossibly short little legs.
Right.
And you probably think, couch potato.
Yeah, of course.
But what you're actually looking at is, honestly, a genetically engineered underground gladiator.
Absolutely.
So welcome to today's deep dive. We are pulling from this fascinating stack of notes from the Dachshund Health Academy, which is a vital pet production.
It's good stuff.
It really is. And our mission today is to go straight after these massive, widely held misconceptions about how these dogs actually function, how they need to be exercised, and this silent weight issue that most owners just completely miss.
Yeah, they miss it entirely.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the assumption people make is just, it's perfectly logical.
Right.
Short legs, low to the ground, so your brain automatically categorizes this animal as low energy. Like, they clearly don't need much exercise, right?
Right. And I mean, it is entirely logical, but it is also entirely wrong. Oh, yeah. We look at those short legs and, we assume they're a signal of a laid-back temperament.
Mm-hmm.
But structurally, those legs are a highly specific adaptation.
Like a specialized tool.
Exactly. A tool designed for a grueling, violent job. I mean, these dogs were selectively bred to pursue, corner, and physically battle wild animals, specifically badgers.
Badgers.
Deep underground, yeah. Think about what that actually entails. You are in the pitch black.
Right.
Navigating tight, claustrophobic tunnels, facing off against a cornered, vicious, wild animal for, extended periods of time.
Yikes.
Yeah. You do not survive that job by being a low-energy couch potato.
No, I guess you have to have incredible stamina and, zero fear.
What's fascinating here is that a dachshund's body shape and its baseline energy level are completely separate variables.
Okay.
They just happen to coexist inside the exact same dog.
Yeah.
Because of the low-slung, almost cartoonish frame, we assume the engine inside is small.
Right.
But underneath that chassis is a dog that is intensely alert, highly driven, and genuinely hardwired for stamina-testing physical activity.
So we have this massive instinctual hunting drive trapped inside a body that we just treat like a lapdog.
Exactly.
Which means when an owner buys into the whole lazy dog myth and deprives them of that exertion, that energy doesn't just vanish. It has to go somewhere, right?
It does, and it rarely shows up as a physical energy problem first.
Interesting.
It manifests almost entirely as behavioral chaos.
Oh, wow. Well, the research on this is wild. Under-exercising presents itself as excessive, unrelenting barking.
Yes.
Or it shows up as this vibrating inability to just settle down in a room, or, intensely destructive behavior. We're talking about digging through your expensive living room rug or chewing the legs off your dining chairs.
Right, because the dog's nervous system is firing all these signals saying track, dig, hunt, work.
Uh-huh.
But they are trapped in a modern living room. So they find an outlet. They basically make the couch cushion the badger.
Wait, so if I'm sitting in my living room watching my dog absolutely shred my upholstery, my first instinct is going to be booking an expensive behavioral trainer.
Sure.
I'm thinking, my dog has an obedience problem, but what you're saying is I'm totally misdiagnosing the situation. I don't need a trainer, I just need a leash.
It happens every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, owners get incredibly frustrated. They spend a fortune on obedience classes, or they sit in the vet's office at their wit's end,
Right.
completely missing that the root cause is just an unfulfilled biological drive. You cannot train the badger hunting instinct out of a dachshund. You have to give it a productive channel.
And the couch cushion always loses.
Always.
But beyond the destroyed furniture, there is a second, much quieter consequence to this lazy dog myth: the weight creep.
Ah, yes.
And with a dog built like this, that is a terrifying prospect.
It really is. We constantly treat canine weight as strictly a food issue. If a dog is heavy, well, they must be eating too much.
Right, that's what everyone assumes.
But the other half of that metabolic equation is the physical activity required to burn off the fuel.
Sure.
Without giving that high-performance engine a chance to run, even a diet that is measured out to the exact garogram will lead to a silent, gradual accumulation of fat.
So if they desperately need this physical exertion just to stay sane and to keep the weight off, how do we actually walk that tightrope?
It's tricky.
Because we are dealing with a notoriously fragile, incredibly long spine. Are we talking about treating them like a Jenga tower where one wrong move brings the whole thing crashing down?
Well, it's not quite a Jenga tower, but it is the ultimate anatomical balancing act. The key is shifting our focus entirely to the quality of the exercise rather than just the intensity.
Okay, so not all movement is created equal for this breed.
Exactly. Not at all.
The gold standard, according to the research, is actually brilliantly simple. It's just a steady walk.
Yes.
It builds cardiovascular endurance, it actively manages the weight, and crucially, it has low impact on that elongated back. The spine isn't taking any violent shocks.
Right. To understand why the steady walk is so critical, you have to visualize the anatomy of their spine.
Okay.
Think of a dachshund's back, like a long suspension bridge.
A suspension bridge.
Yeah, a suspension bridge is engineered to handle vertical load pretty well. If you press straight down on it, it distributes the weight.
Makes sense.
But what it cannot handle is sheer force rotational twisting movements.
Which brings us to the bad exercise. And this is exactly what you see dogs doing in the park every single day.
All the time.
Leaping 3 feet into the air to catch a frisbee, endlessly jumping on and off the bed, or sprinting at top speed and violently twisting to change direction.
That rotational twisting is the absolute enemy of the dachshund spine.
Wow.
Because between each vertebrae in that long back are intervertebral discs. They act like little jelly-filled shock absorbers.
Oh, okay, shock absorbers.
So when the dog jumps up and violently twists its body to catch a ball, it creates a massive shear force on those discs.
Oh, man.
It literally wrings them out like a wet towel, stressing the outer fibrous ring.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for the owner listening to this right now. Do I really need to panic if my dog hops off a low step?
No.
I mean, am I never allowed to play fetch in the backyard again? Because that sounds like a miserable existence for a dog bred to hunt.
That is a very fair pushback. And we need to be crystal clear here. You do not have to panic over a single occasional hop.
Okay.
We are not talking about forbidding a dog from being a dog. What we are focused on is the pattern of behavior over months and years.
So it's the microscopic cumulative damage.
Precisely. If you are using high-impact twisting games of fetch as their primary way to burn off energy every single afternoon, that is where the damage accumulates.
Right, it adds up.
It's the same with a dog that jumps off a high mattress twice a day. One jump doesn't shatter the spine, but 1,000 jumps over 2 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of wear and tear.
It will continuously weaken the fibers in those discs until they reach the point of catastrophic failure. You want the steady forward motion of a walk to be the anchor of their routine, not acrobatic leaps.
That makes perfect sense for an adult dog whose bones are fully set. But this whole routine has to evolve, right? I mean, a 3-month-old puppy and a 12-year-old senior can't possibly follow the same playbook.
They absolutely cannot. And the life stages dictate exactly how you manage that suspension bridge. Let's start with puppies. Basically anything under a year old.
Okay.
At this stage, their joints and their spinal structures are literally not finished baking.
We're talking about growth plates.
Exactly. Growth plates are areas of soft, expanding cartilage at the ends of a puppy's long bones.
Right.
They are what allows the bone to grow and lengthen. But because they are soft cartilage, they are incredibly vulnerable to injury.
Oh, wow.
If you overexercise a puppy or force them to endure long, sustained marches before those plates harden into solid bone at around a year old, you can cause permanent structural damage.
So you could actually alter the shape of their legs permanently just by walking them too far.
Yes. For puppies, moderation is your only rule. You want short, frequent bursts of gentle activity. Let them play, let them rest when they flop down. Do not force them to keep pace on a 2-mile hike.
Now, once those growth plates close and we have a fully grown adult dog, the routine shifts gear. The baseline recommendation is 30 to 60 minutes of combined physical activity spread across the day.
Spread across is the vital part of that equation.
Right, you aren't doing a 60-minute forced march. It's a solid morning walk, an evening walk, and maybe some safe off-leash play in an enclosed area.
Exactly.
And the emphasis on enclosed areas is important because you don't want them suddenly encountering a hazard where they have to sprint, panic, and violently twist away from a threat.
As they transition into their senior years, the dynamic shifts yet again. And honestly, this is where it gets emotionally difficult for owners.
Oh, I bet.
An older dachshund still has the brain of a badger hunter. Their mind still desperately wants to conquer the yard and patrol the perimeter, but their physical chassis can no longer handle the load.
The spirit is completely willing, but the flesh is just tired.
You still have to walk them to keep their joints lubricated and manage their weight, but the duration has to scale way down.
So shorter walks, slower paces.
And much more frequent rest breaks.
Which honestly raises a really difficult question for anyone who has an aging working dog. These animals are notoriously stoic.
Very stoic.
How do you, as an owner, know the difference between a dog who is just pleasantly fatigued from a good walk and a dog who is actually experiencing structural pain? Because they aren't going to just stop and tell you.
It is incredibly tough because their drive will often mask their pain. But there are specific physiological warning signs.
Okay, what are we looking for?
If your dog normally keeps a brisk pace on your daily route and suddenly starts lagging behind the leash, that is a red flag.
Got it.
If they show any reluctance to continue forward, or if you spot an uneven stride, even a slight head bob, that indicates they're trying to keep weight off a particular limb.
And it's not just during the walk, right?
No, the most critical signs often happen hours later. Pay close attention to how they get up from their bed that evening.
Oh, like stiffness.
If they're showing unusual stiffness, or if they hesitate before trying to stand, they're telling you that the structure is compromised.
And we cannot stress this enough. Do not just wave off these signs as the inevitable march of time, like, he's just getting a little old.
Never ignore it.
Mm.
If you are seeing these persistent signs, a veterinarian needs to physically evaluate the dog.
Absolutely.
And to be clear, since we are diving deep into medical concepts here, this deep dive is strictly for educational purposes. We aren't diagnosing your pet. A vet should always, always be consulted for any health or mobility concerns.
Definitely. So we have the mechanics of the spine down and we understand the life cycle. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because when we talk about things that cause discomfort on a walk, we completely ignore the actual ground they are walking on. The physical environment impacts a dachshund in a completely different way than almost any other breed of dog.
The pavement proximity factor. It is a brilliant observation that is almost universally overlooked by owners of short-legged breeds.
Think about the physics of it. A dachshund is basically a low-clearance sports car, while a golden retriever is an SUV.
That's a great way to put it.
If you are walking a retriever on a sunny summer day, that dog's stomach and vital organs are 2 feet in the air catching the cross breeze.
Right.
But for a dachshund, their core is hovering 2 or 3 inches above the asphalt. What feels like a warm, totally comfortable afternoon walk to you might literally feel like crawling through an open oven for them.
It's basic thermodynamics. Asphalt absorbs solar radiation and blasts it right back up.
Oh, wow.
Because the dachshund's body is so close to the ground, they're taking the brunt of that radiant heat directly to their chest and stomach. Their core temperature rises significantly faster than a taller dog's.
So summer walks at lunchtime are just completely off the table.
They have to be. You have to make serious seasonal adjustments, shifting your routine to the early morning or the late evening when the pavement has cooled.
Wait, if they're taking that much radiant heat in the summer, winter must be an absolute nightmare for the exact same reason.
It is the exact same mechanical disadvantage, just flipped. That low profile gives them zero clearance from freezing ground, ice, and snow.
Oh, man.
If you get a 6-inch snowfall, a Labrador just bounds through it. It's barely touching their knees.
Right. They love it.
For a dachshund, that same 6 inches of snow is freezing water dragging directly against their chest and stomach for the entire walk. You have to pay incredibly close attention to how the physical environment is interacting with your dog's specific, unique geometry.
Okay, but this creates a massive dilemma. Let's say it's blistering hot out, or it's freezing cold and the snow is too deep.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have that senior dog we talked about who just can't physically do a 45-minute walk anymore. How on earth do you satisfy that intense, hardwired badger hunting drive if you can't tire out their body? What do you do with all that vibrating energy?
If you cannot safely tire out the body, you have to tire out the brain. Mental stimulation is the ultimate zero-impact exercise.
Now, I have to push back on this, because I think a lot of practical dog owners are highly skeptical of the whole doggy puzzle trend.
I get that.
Is giving my dog a plastic toy with a hidden piece of kibble really going to exhaust them the same way a solid 2-mile hike would? It sounds like a gimmick, honestly.
It sounds like a gimmick until you understand the neuroscience of a dog's brain. It absolutely tires them out, and in many cases, it exhausts them faster than physical running.
Wait, really? How is that possible?
Because of the olfactory bulb. The part of a dog's brain dedicated to processing smells is proportionally massive compared to ours.
Oh, interesting.
When a dog is actively sniffing, tracking a scent, and problem-solving, their brain is demanding a massive amount of glucose.
Wow.
Neurologically speaking, scent work requires staggering amounts of caloric energy and deep, sustained focus.
So you're basically creating cognitive overload.
Exactly. Remember what they were bred to do. They were bred to independently track complex scents through dark, winding tunnels and make split-second decisions.
Right.
Their brain literally craves a job. So scent games, where you hide their favorite toys or high-value treats around the living room, under rugs, behind doors, and force them to use their nose to track it down, that taps directly into their deepest biological instincts.
It's essentially an indoor badger hunt. You are recreating the sensory experience of the tunnel right in your living room.
Precisely. And food puzzle toys do the exact same thing. They force the dog to manipulate objects, test hypotheses, and own their food.
That makes total sense.
Doing 15 minutes of intense scent work meaningfully rounds out a day where you had to cut the physical walk short due to the weather. And frankly, giving their brain a structured job is the single most effective way to prevent them from inventing their own jobs.
Like deciding their job is to thoroughly excavate the contents of your bathroom wastebasket.
Or shredding every piece of mail that comes through the slot. An unemployed working dog is a destructive dog.
Now, if you're listening to this while commuting or trying to manage a busy household, the idea of orchestrating scent tracking games, temperature checking the asphalt, and monitoring rotational shear forces on the spine probably sounds totally exhausting.
Yeah, it does sound like
That sounds like a full-time job.
it can sound overwhelming, but the goal here is rhythm, not adding hours of labor to your day. Consistency beats complexity every single time.
You don't need a spreadsheet. A simple, highly sustainable routine is all it takes.
Exactly.
A steady morning walk, maybe a quick 5-minute puzzle toy or scent game while you drink your coffee, a short evening walk, and strict portion control at dinner. That is the entire recipe.
Once you understand the why behind the routine, it becomes entirely manageable. You are just meeting their biological needs.
Which brings us to the final and perhaps most critical takeaway of this entire deep dive. Managing their exercise and mental health is completely, inextricably linked to managing their weight. And keeping them lean is the single most effective insurance policy you can buy for that fragile spine. But, and this is a massive warning from the research, you absolutely cannot trust your own eyes when evaluating a dachshund's weight.
The visual deception of this breed is notorious.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because they have such an elongated, low silhouette, they can carry excess fat very evenly across their frame. They don't just get a round belly like other dogs, they hide it.
So you look at them from above and think, oh, he looks fine, but he's actually carrying 2 extra pounds.
And a single pound of fat on a miniature dachshund isn't just a slight pudge. Mathematically, it is a massive percentage of their overall body weight.
Oh, right.
If a 12-pound dog gains 1.5 pounds, that is a staggering additional load hanging directly off that suspension bridge we talked about. It exponentially increases the sheer force on those discs every time they move.
So the core directive here is to build an objective weight tracking habit. You have to step away from the visual check and rely on the math.
Rely on the math.
Weigh them regularly on a digital scale at home, or just pop into your vet's lobby once a month and use theirs. The entire goal is to catch that gradual, silent upward trend when it's only 8 ounces or a pound, rather than waiting until it's an entrenched, dangerous health crisis.
And as a brief organizational note, the VitalPet app was mentioned in the sources as a great tool for this.
Oh, yeah.
It allows you to track those weight trends, log daily activity, and keep your vet visit notes in one place. It is a fantastic way to organize the data to support your veterinarian's care, though, of course, no app ever replaces actual veterinary medicine.
But having that data in your pocket makes the conversations with your vet incredibly precise and productive. You aren't guessing anymore.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, treating a dachshund's health properly requires a fundamental shift in our perspective. It means respecting their rugged, working dog heritage rather than treating them like a delicate accessory. It means providing that vital cognitive enrichment to satisfy a brain built for the hunt, and valuing steady, low-impact consistency over high-impact thrills. It is a daily mindful commitment to their unique architecture.
So what does this all mean? It leaves us with something really provocative to think about long after this deep dive is over. How often do we completely misjudge the actual needs of the animals in our lives, or honestly, even the people we interact with, simply based on a quick glance at their physical appearance?
That's a great point.
Right. If a tiny, goofy-looking, short-legged dog is secretly harboring the stamina, the drive, and the sharp mental focus of a fierce underground gladiator, what other surface-level assumptions are we making every single day that completely miss the incredible truth hiding just underneath?
It certainly forces you to look a little closer at everything around you.
It really does. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the true nature of the dachshund. Next time, we'll be pulling from a new stack of sources to explore the complex world of common hereditary health problems, so you definitely won't want to miss that. Until then, keep looking past the surface.